Well, here we go again. I'll put up a short poll on Twitter to see what the video would be about today, because I got a ton of ideas to record stuff, but, you know, finding the time is hard. But I got time today. So, the topic everyone voted on was nightmare clients and how to deal with them. Nightmare clients. The very, 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 very short and simple answer to this question is don't. Don't. But there are warning signs. There are definite warning signs. And what have I done in the situation where I've encountered clients that, aren't ideal? Start off with, how do you define a nightmare client? A nightmare client is someone you've engaged with from a business in a business arrangement, and you put forth what you're going to do for them. They've agreed to those terms, and the scope changes drastically, quarter way through the project, halfway through, or at the very end. They asked for this, but they meant this, which is 4 times the cost, or however you want to price it, or 2 times the cost, or, however you want to weigh those two things out. Whenever you encounter, clients that may not necessarily understand the business agreement that they've entered into, I try to make it abundantly clear at the very beginning. This is what I'm going to do for you. Give me examples of that thing, and I'll execute on it. And then once that's approved, I require, the balance on the arrangement, or however you want to put it. But I have encountered maybe 5, because I'm pretty easy to get along with. Probably 5 out of almost 2,000 clients where things kind of fell apart and it became a nightmare situation where nothing looked right. The ideas they put forward wouldn't work. And then we demonstrate those ideas and they say, oh yeah, you're right, that does not work. Further wasting your time and them doubting your expertise in the actual field they hired you to do. So there are people that do not know what they want, but they don't expressly say that up front. And there are people who say what they want, but mean something completely different. Or they give you an idea that is just weak. It's a weak idea. And they didn't want a designer. They wanted to be a designer themselves and have your hands move. Which I don't really do. For a number of reasons. I've finished projects like that, but I never promote those projects. There's no portfolio of it. There's no mention of it on my website, because essentially they've produced this piece of material, this content that I clicked the buttons and made it happen, but the design is weak, the ideas are weak, the structure was weak, and it was their dollar. You gotta remember, when someone's approaching you for a job, they're hiring not only for your skill, but your expertise in that area. So it's up to you to fulfill that, follow through. But I do my best to make the client happy. If he wants to be a designer, I'll adjust the price accordingly, which is going to be more. It's going to be more. And when I say I don't deal with clients like that, I give you some good examples. I won't mention any names because it's not what I do. I'm not into the dramatic. I'm not into drama. Number 2. I always give people the benefit of the doubt as if they don't know what a certain industry entails and the skill it entails. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they were ignorant of what a designer does. So, that in there I said, like, this is totally, plausible. This is what a designer should do. In all actuality, it's not what a designer does. and they were being a little bit unreasonable to me. I've had a client order a logo, and I did a preliminary 5-6 sketches, which is something I usually do. I do between 2 and 5 sketches, and they're like, "Oh no, I wanted something more like this." So since I worked with them before on some previous projects, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know, I'll do some more sketches." 9-10 sketches in. Well, I want it like this. It was a piece of stock imagery. Stock images like stock logo stuff. I'm like, why don't you just buy the stock image? It's probably way cheaper. Well, no, but I want it done like this. I'm like, well, number one, that's extraordinarily generic, and you don't need me for that. So what I did was, all right, if you're gonna keep making more sketches to go in this direction, I'm gonna need more compensation because we've wasted, I've gone over my allotted amount because I was being so kind and generous. Well, no, we agreed to this, and I'm like, if you think I'm trying to cheat you, here's your money back. Because, number one, I don't need the headache. And if you think I'm doing something incorrectly, you don't need me as a designer. I've failed. If I failed, I'm going to give you the money back. If it was something if you think it's a perceived fault of my own, then we won't finish this project, and here's your money back. I know the price from designers, they're like, why would you give the money back? What's more important? And this is for anybody that's worked in customer service, retail, even like that. When somebody has a bad experience about you, that bad experience will travel further and faster than good experience. Now, I could have went ahead and just kept doing sketches forever, but that would have wasted a lot more money than they already paid. You gotta imagine what your time is worth. Finishing the project would have been in my scope. I could have done it, but it would have cost me personally 3 times the amount they paid for it already. And what's cheaper? Me giving the money back in time and me doing 2 other projects, or me committing 2 more times the work to this project, or 3 more times the work to this project? And the answer is very simple. I give back the deposit because we're only in the sketch phase, and this is off the books. We're done with it. Or somebody ordered a very large package, very, very large package. Probably like $2,000-$3,000 worth of work for some stream branding stuff, logos, animations, etc. And they gave me all these examples of what they wanted, and I'm executing on it. Like, oh no, more like this. Oh no, more like that. And this is the kind of wishy-washy thing where they don't know exactly where they want to go. And I found myself in another predicament of, am I wasting too much time? So I refunded all the money. I could see where this was going, this trajectory, this kind of like push and pull. Like, I'm more than happy to, if anybody knows me, I'm more than happy to accommodate any request. But you as a designer, you as a content creator, you as, fill in the blank, at what point is your time being completely wasted? And are you literally making a poor experience for you and the potential client or ex-client? Is it worth it? Even if I fulfilled that job for the $2,000, they probably still would not have been happy. Because there are telltale signs when people would not be happy with anything. And they want to tweak it and tweak it and tweak it and tweak it and tweak it without, they don't trust you as a designer because they want to be a designer themselves. You'll reach that point and you will see it coming if you encounter it enough. So it's all about, it's a time game. It's a time game. Now, I'm not saying every client is like, well, I wanted to like this. That's not every client. They might have meant something else when they gave you this idea. And, oh, well, I want it more like this. And they'll give an example. Like, well, we could have went over that in the beginning. That goes into discovery and asking better questions. But that's completely reasonable. No one should be like, well, this is how I wanted it. And then they go, well, I want it like this. Then I want like, well, they change their mind 4, 5, 6, 7 times. No, I'm not 7 times you know you have a problem, but they've changed their mind 3 times. You have to be upfront with your client, like, well, that's all fine and good. We can continue working in this process more and more and more, but it's going to require more money to finish this, to finish, because we're burning through our initial scope of work. And if they agree to that, all the better. If they do not, the project is probably going to die anyway, and it's not going to be fun. It's going to be a slog. It's going to be a pain. You're going to get bad reviews, and in the online culture, in the year of the Yelp, in the decade of the Yelp, it's not worth it. The $2,000 literally was not worth it, and I was like, I could have used the money too. Who couldn't use $2,000? But that could have potentially cost me $20,000. Think about it. If somebody gives you a bad review and they have enough leverage, if they have no leverage, they might know somebody that's really big. He might have been friends with fill in popular streamer's name. Oh yeah, I worked with this guy, Khan. Completely wasted time. Took my money, ran with it. Didn't work with this guy. And he's like, oh yeah, well, this guy 7,000 people. You don't know who knows who. That's just an important question. I treat everybody with the same respect. I don't care if you have 70 followers or 7 million followers. It's irrelevant. You get charged the same amount of money. I don't care. Clout is an illusion to begin with, but being intelligent with your business decisions, and when you encounter, not ideal situations, there is a point in time during that transaction where you can either cut and run or push through. And that's going to be up to you as a designer, especially starting out. So, how do you determine what that time is worth? That goes into pricing. And how much is your time worth? If you're working those hours or whatever, say you want to pay yourself by the hour. I don't charge by the hour, but say you want to pay yourself by the hour, and you want it $30 an hour, and you charge them $90 and you're going to hour 8. You're not charging enough money at all. So that's something that has to be leveraged on your end beforehand, because you should always pad your time and your booking with enough on the back end. Like, well, this isn't working. Well, we still got 2-3 more sketches left in this before we can move on with this, and that's okay. If you've booked in a perfect schedule to every single project, you are asking for pain. You're asking for pain. You are asking for pain. Oh no, this took me an hour and a half. That I'll charge $100. Okay, what if it does take an hour and a half? It takes 5 hours. What do you do then? Forethought. Super important. But it all comes down to just say this. I've only worked with less than 15 people that they were not happy. And probably 4 or 5 of them have been just not ideal, or what people would dub nightmare clients. And I'm always as gracious as possible, because I don't know what they expected or what expectations they pulled into the project that they did not express. So giving someone the benefit of the doubt and then being gracious enough to say, hey, I understand that you want this thing done, and I would really like to make this thing happen. But it feels like to me, as a designer and as my client, it would be in our best interest to end this project and for me to give back 50% of the deposit. Because I put in 4 hours, 25% of the deposit, or all of the deposit. That builds better trust than saying, oh, well, tough shit. This is I don't really care. I'm keeping the deposit. I'm keeping the money. You can buck somebody else, because it's not worth it. I don't care if the project was $10,000. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. And plus, you shouldn't keep that money anyway. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I did some sketches, and that was worth X amount of dollars. And I was like, it's cut. Just literally, that was a loss. Sometimes you gotta write off some things. Don't do it all the time. That is not what I said. But you gotta know when to write things off. It makes you a stronger business person and a more reliable business person to make good business decisions. So, when you're having nightmares, wake up. Yeah. Well, one day I'll get good at promoing these things and actually have information for things that are happening. But I'm a graphic designer, artist, stuff. I stream, I make stuff. I'm not good at promoing because my brain is mush from creating all day. But one day I'll put the links and all that stuff in the YT, and you can see all that stuff when I get a proper intro and outro. But I do enjoy spending this time together. These few minutes to impart some experience with you. So, till next time.